The big new 4th anniversary for Master Duel is here, and with it comes a ton of new additions added in-game. We're going to look at everything from top to bottom, and today we're going to have a new pack anniversary tournament stream on twitch.tv/dcade, and we're going to have a $1,000 tournament MCS this Saturday. And I did just post an ultimate top tier Vanquish Soul K9 combo guide, which will be at best the new best deck, at worst a top 3 deck. Make sure you check that out. Now, boom, what is this? Rookie and Returner Mutual Follower Campaign. How does this work exactly? Well, let's look in game as I bring that up. On the top right here, you're going to click on Friend. You're going to click on Rookie and Returner Mutual Follower Campaign. And then you're going to click on Check Campaign Code. And you are going to be copying this code to then share onto the website or anywhere else. You could share it in the Discord. And then what you need is someone to take your code to then enter it in, and you now have all the stuff that comes with it. So let's look at the details on exactly what comes with it. So let's see, check campaign code. And both players will get the rewards here. So the first rewards, does it go all the way from the bottom to the top? I guess these achieved by 5 people, 50 gems. What is this? If they get bronze 4, so you get a ton of new stuff based on how well they do on the ranked ladder. I guess initially you will get this. Okay. And then if more people enter, you get a Sprite Sprint. You definitely want this. Oh my Jesus. Really good cards get additionally added. So you need multiple people to enter your code in. And then you get even more extra deck slots. Okay, so I see from top to bottom. And then they have to actually play ranked, I guess, to get the rest of the rewards. Sure. All right, so I will show you all the people. You could also, in this video, I don't care, you want to post in the comments a bunch of codes? Sure, so people are going to be posting down here. And I'm working with the developer to have this auto sort by new to further increase your chance to have yourself get the new rewards. And let's also check out, if you want to see the best way to play Sprite, let's type in under deck types, Sprite, Tri-Brigade Sprite, Sprite, we'll click on Sprite here. And I would see all of the different Sprite decks you can click up here. What you really want to look at is what has it done recently. So since December, there are some tops. It's got top 16 of a recent tournament. These are the deck lists you're going to want to be looking at and copying. If you don't like that, you can click on Runic Sprite to see if that's done anything recently. Back in December, we have a Rating Duel deck list. That's a very good one. Back in October, if you want to play that. Let's see, Live Twin Sprite. Live Twin just got new support. So a lot of people are going to likely be trying this version of Sprite out. And then you have Tri-Brigade Sprite. If we scroll on down here, we got something back in June. So this is the least prevalent of all the different Sprite decks to be checking out. Now, what else we have to look at? We have the Master Duel 4th Anniversary Celebration and Bundles. New alt arts. New Dark Magician. New Dark Magical Circle. New Secrets of Magic. New Masquerina art. New Little Knight. Oh my gosh, Little Knight looks nothing like how she normally does. New Called by the Grave. Oh no, I don't have good eyesight. So when I see this on the field, I'm going to have no idea what the heck's being activated. And I guess that we also got a brand new card. This card does not exist in the TCG nor OCG. First time in Master Duel only. So let's actually take a gander at this and see what's good with it. Fancy Ball, 2+ effect monsters. It's a Link 3, unlike Masquerina being a Link 2. And we should show Masquerina because it's going to be quite relevant to this. So we know Masquerina can link off during the opponent's turn. And this has the same effect. During your opponent's main phase, you can use the effect to link summon one monster. And if this card you control would be used as material for that link summon, you can also use one Link 2 or lower monster your opponent controls. So, boy, this is like 2 different things I need to say about this. You have to use Masquerina for Link Summon. You don't have to use Fancy Ball for the Link Summon. That's optional. After this effect resolves Link Summon, and if this card would be used, so it does not say it has to be this card. This could stay on the field as you link summon something else behind you. But if you would use this as a link summon, you could then non-target, essentially get rid of your opponent's monster if they are a link 2 or lower your opponent controls. So I was thinking, I guess, if they summon Little Knight, you then chain Fancy Ball to try to link with Little Knight. And then you may be thinking, oh, okay, well, Little Knight will just chain banish you, right? That's the how it's not going to work, right? They're not going to be able to use the little, you're not going to be able to use the Little Knight for a link summon. But they thought of that. Neither player can activate the effects of link monsters in response to this effect's activation. So this is a link 3 counter to Little Knight in a way. The initial Little Knight banish is still going to happen wherever you're banishing, unless it's the Fancy Ball itself. But then it's not going to be able to jump off the field as you link it away with your Fancy Ball. And this is skipping across the first effect. The first effect is also really good. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or graveyard, quick effect, you have to directly chain to it. So let's say you have Draco Tails activating in the graveyard. They're going to be able to chain link block the Draco Tails in graveyard, and then whatever the one on the last part of the chain is what you'd be able to respond to then negate that effect and banish it. Now, I skipped over a very important detail because holy moly, negate and banish, that's insane. Well, you have to banish Fancy Ball itself, and Fancy Ball has to be special summoned the turn you want to activate this effect. Banish this card that was special summoned this turn until the end phase. So you essentially, in order to negate something in the graveyard or field and then banish it, you have to Masquerena this onto the field. Otherwise, you're going to be using this effect on your own turn. And notice how it's field or graveyard to make sure you can't stop a Nibiru or a hand trap. Now, even though the hand trap ends up going to the graveyard, this is not going to be working towards it. It initially activates in the hand. And what's interesting about that is the opponent has to essentially give you priority to even make Masquerena before their play. If you wanted to Fancy Ball, negate a monster on the field, then banish it right away, let's say they're able to normal summon a Lucius, it's not going to happen unless the opponent within the main phase activates a spell card, sets a card into the back row, and in response to anything that's not a normal summon, but it has to be an action from the opponent. It could even be the action of them attempting to end the main phase. That's when you could use Masquerena to go into your Fancy Ball. And from there, the Fancy Ball is now able to negate any monster on the field or graveyard and banish it. That is quite insane with the added additional effect. And I don't want to say additional because you got to banish this until the end of the turn, that is. So you're not able to negate and banish and then also link off unless this effect specifically gets negated, but you're not negating the whole card, so you'd be able to still use this. But this is also jumping off the field by cost, which is quite interesting. But, you know, again, you just imperm this preemptively, which will actually be very difficult to do. Now I think about it, yeah, you just got to imperm the Masquerena. That's what would stop the Fancy Ball. Now, what's interesting about the Fancy Ball being on the field, or I should say a Masquerena, it puts pressure on the opponent to have to make their opening play be a normal summon. Because if they delay in any way whatsoever, they activate something else, they perform, let's say, a special summon, you're then going to be able to respond with the Fancy Ball. Now, mind you, because now I'm thinking of this, a special summon, ooh, that's quite interesting. Is there anything that activates from the hand that then special summons on the field? I guess that would be something like Cartesia, right? Activate Cartesia, special summon it. And now if it activates on the field, you're going to be able to Fancy Ball, negate and banish a Cartesia, only if it's activating from the hand a special summon so you could respond to its special summon. So if there's any other monster that activates in the hand and then special summons and then triggers on field, that is going to be the perfect time to chain Masquerena to their effect in hand and then Fancy Ball, negate and banish whatever their effect is. So you may be thinking, oh, Diablo Star does that. Well, not exactly, because the Diablo Star does not activate in the hand. It's going to, with player priority, turn player priority, they're going to special summon Diablo Star, and then by the time Diablo Star is activating on the field, you're going to have a Masquerena and not a Fancy Ball. So there's a lot of nuance to this card and rulings, and I'm not really sure what deck's going to use this. This is definitely a very good card, but I'm looking forward to it actually seeing use in the tournament. And I'll also be thinking more about it later. I don't want to make this whole video about this. Now, what we have beyond this is, I guess we're more stuff from this, the anniversary celebration and bundles. Okay, and then, you know, tell me your thoughts on this card too in the comments. Maybe something I'm overlooking or not thinking about. Got the login bonuses, free packs, free gems. Okay, new Dark Magician icon. The 4th anniversary UR ticket can be exchanged for one of the following secret packs. Okay, I guess you can check those out. New bundles, Dark Magician collection for 1,800 gems. You get a bunch of Dark Magician stuff. Okay, and then a bunch of packs. And then the Canine collection. So for this, I actually want to check it out in game. Let's see that. Let's go on here. Let's see the new fields. And then also I could show you the new mates. Actually, let's check out the animation. How about that, right? I don't know if I have the sound settings to hear the animation. Okay, this should be good. Let's see. New gates are coming animation. Do I get an animation right now? Oh no, I don't want to do a whole story. If this is quick. Okay, let's see. What is this? Show me. Don't copyright me, Konami, please. She a hacker? She a bandit? What's she do? Oh my gosh, Konami, really? Konami knows what they're doing. I'm confused. Masquerina is Little Knight? Hey, she's always been Little Knight? No, okay, I'm stupid. I'm confused. Okay. Let me get out of here. I guess there's more animations if you want to check it out yourself. Now, let me look at the mates. All right. Let's see. Let's go to the shop. Shop it up. Special. So if you buy the Masquerina bundle and the Little Knight bundle, apparently you get a mate that I believe could turn into both. It transforms. So it's both Masquerina and Little Knight. But what's weird about this is they want you to own 3 different mates. Mate? What is this? I don't... So they want you to get this. All right. Or maybe I'm confused and they're all combined into one. Okay, so that's the Masquerina one. It does look different than the combined one. And then they want you to get the Little Knight one. All right. And then once you buy these 2 mates, they then give you a 3rd mate where they're combined mates. Something like that. I don't really know. And then let's see what this looks like here. You can see what the field looks like. All right. Only if the opponent chooses to combine their field with you. And then you have the canine field. Interesting. Can't really see the animations of the field of anything changing. All right. And then I guess this is the Dark Magician bundle. Does this even come with the fields? You get the sleeve, the coin. Okay. No field for Dark Magician. I think there's already been one. Now, let's go back to the website to see some other stuff about this. So this is the K9 bundle we already saw. Get a bunch of packs, sure. And there's no question if this is worth it or not. If you like the cosmetic, then they toss in packs with it to try to make it worth it. If you don't care about the cosmetic, you don't get these deals whatsoever. Now, what else we have? Boom. Dark Magical Blast, and with it comes a new Dark Magician spellcaster. Dark Magician plus light or dark monster for its fusion materials, or it has a different way to summon it. Must be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by banishing a level 6 or higher dark spellcaster you control during the turn a spell card or effect was previously activated. Thus, the best way to summon this is going to be Diablo Star, straight up. Diablo Star is going to be the main enabler for this until the newer Dark Magician Overframe card comes out. So if you want to pop this out, then go on over to the OCG, you'll see this card doesn't even exist in TCG. Came to Master Duel first. I don't know when it would come on over to TCG, but it came out in a tactical tri-pack. So from here, if we switch everything to OCG, we could see some people using this. Let's see. Maybe this, let me look at, we'll just click on any of these, is fine. Oh, what the heck? Even a Malice deck is playing this? What the heck? Wait, that's some other Shining Sarcophagus with this. So where is it? It's in okay, he is playing in the extra deck. How is he? I guess he's using the Dark Magician Girl, the Apprentice Magician. So this is another way, I guess, beyond Diablo Star. And then if we look at the White Forest deck, they have the Diablo Star Black Witch, and we also have the Gaze of Timaeus. So then what does this do exactly? Well, what you're going to do with this card is you're going to summon a Dragoon. Let's read it. If this card's special summon, you can add a Dark Magician or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, and that would be the Gaze of Timaeus. You're going to fusion summon, shuffling monsters, shuffling that monster, fusion summon one fusion from your extra deck that mentions it as a material. At first, the cost is you're targeting a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl you control in your graveyard, and this is considered to be one, right? This card's name becomes Dark Magician while face up on the field or in the graveyard. Thus, you get to summon your Dragoon. And the Dragoon goes away during the end phase of the next turn. Banish it during the end phase of the next turn. So straight up, Diablo Star into a temporary Dragoon to negate anything. This could, I guess, give you good Nibiru protection, and most duels are done within the first 2 turns anyway. So untargetable, unstoppable Dragoon off of a Diablo Star, that's going to be quite interesting. I wonder how many decks are just going to randomly tech this, because we have the Wanted Seeker, limited to 1. We have Diablo Star at 3. That is insane. That is definitely worth noting. So of any format right now, because TCG doesn't even have this new card, Master Duel is the one to use and abuse this the most. So you can't even say, oh, this is not doing that well in the OCG. That means it won't do well in Master Duel. We have essentially 4 copies because the 3 Diablo Star and the Wanted Seeker. All right, hopefully we'll see this in the tournament. I'm looking forward to some turn 1 early Dragoons. What else are we going to look at here from the structure deck? I think that, we got some other new card. I'm not sure how relevant this card is. I don't want to make this video way too long reacting to every new card here. Miasma Necromancer, I am not familiar with that. What the hail? Okay. I think most of the comments on the website, yeah, no overframes. I am definitely upset about that. Not cool. And we'll see what other new stuff comes in here. Then we have the selection pack itself, Strike of Justice. Now, I'm curious, how expensive is it to play Vanquish All K9? I believe I saved on the website my deck list, so I could check out the ratios of the UR, CP, and SR. Case for K9, Ultra Rare. Werewolf is a 1 of. Ripper's a 2 of. Azuna's 3. Jokel at 2. Holly Sue at 3. Mad Love is just a reprint. Let's see. The combo MD sample deck. 1,100 gems for my proposed deck list. Oh boy. Let's see. That's opening up here. 1,100 gems. That's pretty much on par with the other decks, right? So we have the engine feature on here if you want to hide that, or you could see. And then if you were to click on the engine, you could see that the site's getting hammered big time right now. So things are going to struggle to load. We have Draco Tail at 1,000. So I guess it's on average about 100 more. And then this is the engine page if you want to check out engines off of the tier list. Okay, so maybe not too bad. We also got some even more cards that the TCG does not have. Junk Warrior Extreme Synchron is here. Junk Meister. Rocket cards also came out. So let me see if we have a Rocket deck to look at real quick. Dragon Link, OCG. Not doing too crazy, but I guess here is a sample deck list if you wanted to yoink or something for inspiration. And what about the Junk Warrior Extreme? Is there anything? It looks like there isn't for Junk Warrior Extreme. Let me double check here. Junk Warrior Extreme, this came out when? OCG, yeah, nothing. We got nada. No results on this, sure. And what else we have from this selection pack? So that's going to be the main juice. The Vanquisol K9 is going to be super top tier, either the best deck or among the top 3. And make sure you check out my guide on how to play it. Now, what else do we have in this anniversary? We have, closing all these, Secret Pack, Invader of the Ashen Ruins. This is just a regular old reprint pack. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, if you missed out on Ashen, you get to now play it. Sure. Has Ashen been doing anything recently? If not, has this been teched in any recent decks? Ashen, Master 5, November. So good job, Valnor. And then this was, we had a Genesis tournament. Beyond the Genesis tournament, okay. Crystron deck was teching the card in the side deck just to get rid of field spells. Otherwise, Mitsurugi, let's freaking go. Let me click on Valnor's name here to then highlight it for a bigger view. So if you want to play the new Ashen card, something like this, obviously you can't play the Ryzeal Cross though. That's something. That is a deck. Okay. What else do we have? We have Secret Pack Chaos Magic in addition to the structure deck. So if you want, does it need to be in the structure deck and here at the same time? Isn't the structure deck super cheap to just get? Sure. Okay. And nothing different beyond the structure deck from here, I believe. Okay. Let me double check on this card on Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. A Dark Magician deck's been using this. You what, mate? Wait, top 64 of a 5,000 player event? What the heck? This is officially the best Dark Magician deck that we have. Okay, there you go. You wanted a Dark Magician deck, you got it. Primite Dark Magician is the way. I need to make a video with something like this 100% now. Okay, I wasn't even thinking about looking for a Dark Magician deck because I thought there wouldn't be any, but there is. There's the one. one exists. Damn. All right, good. I got to save that. And then we have, this is where I was coping big time. I was like, all right, new Blue Eyes cards, come on. You changed the pack before. There has to be something new. Boom, nothing. Just reprinting the cards. Unbelievable. I was hyped up to maybe get a Master Duel exclusive overframe before the TCG and OCG. Now, we did get the exclusive Masquerena Fancy Ball, but we couldn't be too lucky to get the overframe in addition to that. Oh, well. And if you want a good Blue Eyes deck, there's plenty of Blue Eyes decks to copy. Here's the Blue Eyes deck breakdown. In fact, we have a Meta Weekly recent topper. So something like this from Base G. Copy this deck and you are ready for some Blue Eyes action. We were playing with the new ban list, so Maiden, newly at 3. What else we have? Stars smile behind their mask. This is what people have been waiting for a long time coming for the new Evil Twin. Wait, where is the... No, I was like, whoa, like really? They didn't release this? They had to have. They made it a super rare. Great, good. So if we click on this to see who's been using this, who's been using and abusing Live Twin and Live Twin. So there are quite a few deck lists, actually. Here's top 4 of a 400-player event. Got Fiendsmith and Live Twin. Let's check out the OCG. We got Unchained in our Live Twin, top 32 of a 500-player event. And it also has some Sprite, a little bit of Sprite, just one Sprite red. Huh? Okay. That's kind of interesting to randomly have in the deck. Okay. So congrats to all the Live Twin players. Let's see what else we're looking at. Legacy pack update. Box fish and bids. Like, what the heck is this nonsense? None of these are going to have tops anywhere. That's why it's in the legacy pack. It's so good. It's got someone's finger in the picture. Great. Okay. Legacy pack. Nice. What else we have? We have the selection pack beyond the next level. So a big question you could have is this worth it? Well, all you have to do is click on the search icon up here, and this is automatically sorting by the most popular cards. Or you could look at the official in-game analytics by Konami themselves, the highest rank, and you could look at usage rate. Any of these cards that are in the pack, if they're there and they're ultra rare, or if you just search by the popularity, it could be easier to do that. That will tell you on whether this is worth it or not. Now, cards like Nibiru and Ash Blossom, it is worth it to get them out of the bundle first before pulling from this pack. And I guess this is a good way to get Fua Loss even. Yeah, if you missed out on Fua Loss is a big one. Even if for just Fua Loss, I'd pull on this. Otherwise, if you're a regular player, you have no need for this pack. And then we have the new solo mode gates. New solo mode, Gigantic Sparkle, and Underground Data Courier. What is this? Just, all right, I'm not a solo moder. I haven't really touched that. And then, finally, we have Secret Pack updates. This is why I thought that Blue Eyes would get something new, because they are removing stuff from a pack. And what the heck? Okay, well, they were just making a new Secret Pack and not actually adding new cards is what they ended up doing. What the hell? And then we have these. None of these are new, right? Okay, this is some new cards. So if you don't want to go in the selection pack for the Rocket cards, they are all going to be in their own little pack here. And then Secret Pack Electric Illusions. I think we, all right, added a bunch of nonsense here. And then this new Fancy Ball's been added. We talked about that earlier. The Vanquish Soul pack. Holly Sue, ultra rare 3, but you also want K9 to be played with your Vanquish Soul, ideally. And then they added Snake Eye Oak back in after removing it. All right, well, that pretty much covers it for everything on the campaign. Sorry for the low energy. I am really freaking tired. I decided to make this video at last second instead of going to bed, and I'm going to sleep right after this. So if you want, go on over to here, get your free Sprite Structure deck, put the code in, share the code, type it in here, and good luck on getting your new stuff, all right? I'll see you on twitch.tv/Decade with the new pack anniversary day. Let's do it.